Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back with a very fun box of dinosaur figures that I get to bring in and show to you guys, because there's probably going to be a whole bunch of random stuff in here that I'm not a huge fan of, but there is one figure specifically that I bought this for that I've really been wanting for quite some time, and it is a fairly hard one to get a hold of. It is a color variant of a Jurassic Park dinosaur that completes my collection now as far as the different actually released color variants go. But to bring in the box, we'll start bringing in a few different things here. First of all, we have this, which is one of the Disney's Dinosaur Velociraptor figures. This one isn't in great shape. We can see the tail's kind of broken off. It's also a little bit dusty, and there is a little bit of a paint chip right there. So it's definitely not going to be, you know, a figure that's going to replace my previous one in my collection, as I do already have one in my collection in pretty good shape. So I don't know what I'll do with this one. Maybe repaint it someday, who knows, but at least it's in here. Again, it's a very cool figure. It's just unfortunately a little bit damaged. And speaking of Disney's dinosaur, we also have this, the Styracosaurus, in here, which I actually really love this figure. I repainted one at one point because the sculpt is so nicely done on this Styracosaurus as far as replicating the Styracosaurus again from Disney's Dinosaur. I think that this is definitely a really, really cool figure. So very happy to have another of those. And what's really exciting is I didn't even realize that this figure was in here, but it is a figure that I need for my collection. We have the, and I almost knocked over that Velociraptor, but this is the Thunderbeast's Triceratops. I don't know how, when I was looking at this, I was just so focused on this other figure that I didn't even realize that this one was in there. Obviously, it's a little bit beat up. It's not really in the greatest shape in the world, so, you know, maybe some cleanup will be needed for this one, but it's still a really neat figure, and I'm a big fan, and I have become more of a fan over the last few years of the Thunderbeasts line of dinosaur toys, and I've been trying to slowly get them all, and I have most of them now at this point. Maybe I'll start some reviews for those guys at some point if you guys are interested in seeing reviews of the lineup from Thunderbeasts, but that's one that I actually did not have. So when I opened the box, I was like so surprised that it was in there. I was really excited. We've also got ourselves a little baby Stegosaurus from Safari Ltd, which is a pretty cool figure included here. I don't know if I have this color variant of this one. I never pay too much attention to these smaller figures, as I have quite a few, but that color variant specifically doesn't really look too familiar to me. We've also got a Definitely Dinosaurs figure here with a Brachiosaurus. I think that was a Brachiosaurus. I don't know if it tells me the species name here on the underside. No, unfortunately not. But this is one of the, I believe, the McDonald's Happy Meal figures, potentially. When it comes to the Definitely Dinosaurs line, I'm a huge fan of the Definitely Dinosaurs line overall. So, you know, one line, or at least one section of the line that I haven't really paid enough attention to would be the McDonald's figures, and I don't know if I have all of them. I have all of the other stuff throughout the course of the Definitely Dinosaurs line, but I have to go ahead and check out the McDonald's figures collection that I have, and I don't know if I have that figure for sure or not. We also have a really fun sort of vintage interpretation of a Ceratosaurus, and I do quite like this figure. It's definitely a very different looking figure compared to what you would see Ceratosaurus portrayed as nowadays, but when it comes to that old school look, it's actually pretty nice. And then another Disney's dinosaur figure in here, as we have ourselves one of the villainous Iguanodon here, and that is actually a pretty cool figure as well. Again, these Disney's dinosaur figures from Mattel were so nicely done for their time. Actually, I think I'm going to have to get a review up for this one, especially because this one is in pretty good shape overall. Then we've got ourselves a vintage Brachiosaurus. Now this one, I don't know if it is for sure, but it looks like it's one of the old Imperial figures, I think, or maybe it's Dorme. I don't remember. There's no actual branding on the other side other than made in China, so I don't know exactly who makes that one, but it's definitely the type of Brachiosaurus toy I would have played with as a child. Then we've got ourselves the second variant, I think the only other variant other than the original, if I remember correctly, of the Velociraptor, the Screaming Raptor from the Kenner mold, and I think this one was released by Hasbro, but it's a really cool figure. Unfortunately, we can see it's got a little bit of like some damage to the eye, so I'll have to touch that up. Yeah, same deal over here. I'll have to touch up the eyes on that one, but other than that, it looks like it's actually in pretty good shape overall. Not like a whole lot of paint scuffs or anything that I can see on it. The JP logo's in good shape, so that's a pretty sweet addition to this box. There's also a very dirty random sauropod skeleton in here, but it's like got like hair and stuff all over it, so that one's definitely going to need a bath. I don't know who makes that. I think it says it's a Camarasaurus. Okay, so yeah, it definitely states it's a Camarasaurus. It does have a year in there, which I think says 97, but I don't know for sure. I'm not positive on this one. I'm going to have to look a little bit more into that one, but that's actually kind of neat. It just needs a bath desperately. Then we've got ourselves some really tiny figures with a super cool vintage style T-Rex, which this one I actually really like because it almost has the look of like the, I think it was the UKRD or AAA. One of them has a T-Rex out that looks kind of similar to that, but that's actually a pretty nice interpretation of the old school T-Rex. There is also a Safari Ltd mini Spinosaurus, which is a pretty neat figure. I don't know for sure if I have that color variant. Really crazy where the positioning of the eye is on it, though. I've never noticed that. I never really paid too much attention, again, to these smaller minis from Safari Ltd. We do also have this, which I believe is a knockoff of the Marx Stegosaurus, if I remember correctly. So nothing too special there. There's also a little crocodile in here. Focus camera. We'll get nice and close until you have to focus. Oh, there we go. So you can see a little mini crocodile. And there is also another of these Disney's dinosaur figures. And I don't remember if this, I think this was one of the McDonald's toys, if I remember correctly. So pretty cool figure. Those McDonald's Disney's dinosaur figures were actually pretty sweet. Then we have whatever this is. I have absolutely no idea, but it looks pretty interesting. It actually looks really quite familiar, but I don't know. My camera doesn't want to focus on it. It hates it so much, apparently. But I don't know what that is, but it is in here regardless. Another old school T-Rex, not quite as cool as the first one. It's one of those screaming dinosaurs that are just always upset about everything. We have another screaming dinosaur with a Stegosaurus, again, also very upset. And then we've got another knockoff, this time again of the Trachodon, I think of the old Marx figure. So not really anything too special there. And continuing on with some more, we also have a Triceratops and the Brontosaurus, but man, this one's all mashed up when it comes to the tail. But again, knockoffs, so nothing really to worry about there with the fact that they're damaged. We also have this, as I smack the light over here while I bring it in, which is a pretty cool figure. We readjust the camera, you can now see it is the Jurassic Park 3 male Velociraptor. It's like an animatronic sort of Velociraptor, which I do have one in better shape, one that does work, which I may actually review. I've been considering reviewing it for a little while now, but this one isn't in such great shape. I don't know for sure if it will work when I put batteries in it, but I guess we'll find out in due time. There is another one of those old school T-Rex in here, which this is a different color variant compared to the one we had just seen before, a darker blue this time around. An old school Ankylosaurus, very small one, pretty cool looking figure actually. Definitely taking me back to my childhood with that one. There's also a very small Stegosaurus, as well as a very small Triceratops, which looks like, focus camera, my goodness, it really hates some of these, which this one looks like it would fit in well with the smaller vintage T-Rex that we keep bringing in here. There is, on top of that, a mini Safari Ltd T-Rex, which is a pretty cool figure, as well as a mini Safari Ltd Baryonyx, which is also a cool figure. And then, in what I would say is the most random part of this box, there are randomly some stickers in here I don't know anything about. I have no idea why these are in here, but clearly somebody was a skater because we have skateboard stickers and stuff. And then we've got that one. So, I mean, I just wanted to show you guys because they were in here, but obviously that's not something that I was looking forward to. But what I was looking forward to is the final piece of the puzzle, and that is this. As you can see, this is a color variant of the juvenile Tyrannosaurus Rex. This one was released by Hasbro, but it's obviously the older mold again when it comes to the Kenner Young Rex, the Kenner Juvenile Rex, I should say. And it is one of the harder color variants to find. And again, I did not have this one until now. I finally do, which means I now have the complete collection as far as the different color variants of this T-Rex sculpt. Sadly, I don't have the leg braces for all of them. I don't know if I could search those out. Maybe Sirat Tech can create some of those at some point in the future. Hint, hint, Sirat Tech. I would love to see you create some of those replacement pieces, because that is a very commonly lost piece. Why is my camera so bad at focusing right now? It's a very commonly lost piece when it comes to these figures. So I would love to be able to, you know, replace them on my collection without paying a fortune trying to buy or find the pieces used somewhere. But again, that is a super cool version of this T-Rex, and I'm really psyched to finally be able to actually check this one out in person. Definitely a really cool figure. So in the comment section, let me know what you guys think of everything that I've acquired here. They're a little bit spread out right now, but it wasn't the greatest box in the world, but it did supply me with a few pretty cool figures. So again, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.